And my first thought was, when I was asked to do this, is why did he ask me? I mean, when I'm making floor speeches, nobody in this chamber looks less interested in my remarks than you do. But then I looked at my Democratic colleagues and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's why he asked me. And I think back to the other tribute speeches that we've heard, and they tell magnificent tales of bipartisanship. Kunze and Antonio literally building bridges across the state, Dolan and Seitz hammering out the state budget, DeMora and Hoagland making moonshine together. See? But we have no shared memories, and that's because I'm scared of you. You are Ohio's aspiring autocrat. But it's not just a goal for you, the kingdom is yours. You have dethroned the current Speaker of the House, Allison Russo. You control both chambers and every bill in every committee. Mike DeWine can only sign what you send him. My attitude in the Capitol was like being a member of the Rebel Alliance, hiding on the Death Star, trying to avoid stormtroopers and Darth Vader. I've been trying to avoid your glance for the last 2 years for fear of capture and certain death. But then I thought, perhaps I'm overreacting.
I would also like to make a disclaimer that all the nice things I'm about to say about Matt Huffman are revoked and void as of January 6th.
Perhaps you were more than just a frequent guest on John Fortney's daily podcast about John Fortney. I need to better understand why you would want to be the leader of about 87 House Republicans, which has got to be like loading up a wheelbarrow full of frogs and trying to convince them not to jump out of the wheelbarrow.
You know, as somebody who's outgoing, and he also is somebody who likes television shows, and he will routinely recite the jingles from various beginnings of television shows. There's a television show that when I think of Matt Huffman and many dinners that we've had to share with each other over the course of the time in the Senate that we've served with each other, Curb Your Enthusiasm, if anybody has heard it. There's an episode where Larry David talks about the importance of having a good middler at a dinner party, somebody who's going to sit at the middle of the table and guide the conversation and let people go to their various corners when they need to, but then bring everybody back together in a unified conversation among the entire table. Matt Huffman might be the best middler I've ever seen in my lifetime as somebody who's at dinner.
I actually like you, Matt Huffman. I do. You want me to say that again? I actually like you, Matt Huffman. You are the most powerful person in state government, but I've also seen you be kind when you did not have to be, and while nobody was looking and your actions were out of sight. We have our policy disagreements. They are profound and substantial, but I have a genuine fondness for you because of the character I have seen you demonstrate when your actions were not going to be known. I hope that kindness will be your guide as you move across the rotunda. If your power is guided by kindness, then Ohio's best days are ahead of it, for you are the skipper of a ship containing 11.7 million souls. As John Maxwell said, quote, "The pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, the leader adjusts the sails." Unquote. Godspeed and good luck as you leave this chamber, Mr. Speaker. Our state needs you at your best.
To clear up any mystery about why I asked Senator Smith to do this is because I knew it would be funny, and that's really important to me, having a good laugh. This is just extra credit. So this is this will be on the, I can't read your handwriting, but the rest of it, it's delightful that you would make the effort to do that. And Senator McCauley, he really, and I've said this on a variety of occasions, there are, you know, I ended up doing a lot of things for Speaker Batchelder, and I start to think back about all the things that ended up in Senator McCauley's lap, from windmills to the governor's emergency orders, to gas pipelines, and on and on and on. And you know, every legislator gets to pick their own path, whether they want to take on lots of big projects or be an expert in a specific area. But there's not very many people, I mentioned this about Bill Seitz last night, who have that breadth and depth of knowledge that Rob McCauley has. If we can all be a little bit more like Lincoln, I think this institution will be a better place. Thank you very much, Leader Antonio. Thank you, everybody.
Early fall day, and I was coming back from a tour of a utility-scale wind farm, of all things. I was traveling back to the Capitol, and I was stopped at a traffic light, and there at 2 o'clock out my car window, it was a Queepy hamburger restaurant. Queepy. That's it. I got out of traffic, parked, and ran inside, and I shouted at the counter staff, "Do you know Matt Huffman?" And they said, "Yes. He emptied out our entire freezer of stock in January 2023. And I said, he is my friend. And they looked at me like I was green. And I said, okay, I work with him. And they nodded. And I said, I must order your finest meal so I can share the culinary excellence of Lima's famous food, beloved by Lima's favorite son. And I did just that. I ordered and I dined. And to commemorate that moment and the beginning of a life-saving friendship for me, so that the life of this Senate court jester might be spared by the Capitol Square emperor, I have a gift for you, Matt Huffman. It is a wrapped present. It is not in your desk, because I figured you would have looked there. It's in Tim Schafer's desk. So Tim's going to walk it over to you now. I need you to open that, yes. It says in my script, Emperor Huffman opens present. We used a lot of tape. Okay. All right, there it is. There. So that's me in front of the Queepy chain mascot. I've autographed it for you. You're welcome. Which is an absolutely terrible marketing idea. Let me suggest a mascot upgrade might be worth some capital budget dollars in the future.